ladies and gentlemen, you might want to clench your butt cheeks because it is time that we get back to the good old reliable The Simpsons predictions. Yay! Don't subscribe because you really don't have to, but let's find out what is going on in the Matrix, okay? And let's find out what's gonna happen next because they get a lot of things right, okay? But roll it.
From Trump winning elections to the invention of video calling, The Simpsons have a crazy habit of getting the future exactly right.
Yep.
But the specific things they warned us about for 2026 are actually terrifying. And it all starts with the unsealing of the elite secret files. In the 2000 episode, The Computer War Menaces, Homer discovers the internet and launches a gossip blog under the fake name Mr. X. When he runs out of real scoops, he starts making up fake stories. But it turns out one of his made-up stories is actually a massive, true secret. As punishment for knowing too much, he gets kidnapped by a shadowy group.
What's going on?
Okay, yep. That happens a lot.
Taken to a mysterious prison disguised as a tropical beach known only as the Island. The Island is a place where powerful figures secretly disguised as a tropical beach known only as the Island. The Island is a
Oh shit!
I saw this and I actually had to, make sure if it's real. And then I came to the conclusion that it is apparently real. Yeah, Yep.
a place where powerful figures secretly control global affairs.
Hello, operator. I'd like to report a really weird island. Please send lots of rescue copters too.
In the episode, Homer literally types, "Some creeps on an island somewhere are secretly running the world."
Attention, some crazy creeps on an island somewhere are secretly running the world.
And the owners of the island warn him that no one leaves. Fast forward to 2026, and the internet is going crazy over the newly unsealed Epstein files and court documents. People are pointing out that this episode wasn't just a lucky guess, because The Simpsons creator, Matt Groening, was actually named in the unsealed Epstein court documents. Records show he even flew on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet.
Oh shit!
It does make sense. It does make sense how they're able to get a lot of these predictions right. It does make sense. The world is a stage. You see what you want to see, right? It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. In the land of blind, one man eye is king. Yeah, everything is starting to make sense right now. Shout out to Zaffy. Let me show you this and we're going to get back to that.
Did The Simpsons really predict the Epstein scandal?
Yeah.
Or is it because the creator, Matt Groening, may have had insider information due to his supposed alleged visits to the Epstein Island? And based off this insider information, he cultivated scripts for particular episodes, almost telling us what was happening while it was happening. Or maybe they were just very good at making very accurate predictions about the insanity that would happen in the future of the human species.
And right now, the stuff that is happening in the world right now, pretty wild. And apparently it's being said that it's for a distraction to make people forget about everything that just came out of the Epstein files. And apparently there is a lot more too.
Leading conspiracy theorists to claim he knew everything beforehand, and the episode was a dark inside joke. The internet is also losing its mind over a separate viral clip from a season 10 episode showing Lisa sitting on the lap of scientist Stephen Hawking. Since Hawking's name also recently appeared in the real-life Epstein documents,
I don't know everything about Stephen Hawking's, but he was the guy, the go-to guy. They would always put him on the pedestal and always say like he's I don't know what exactly he discovered or but you would always hear his name in science and in all that, and you would never guess. I personally would never guess like he would have done anything like that, right? Allegedly, because we're on YouTube, but insane, guys. Absolutely insane.
People are calling this yet another terrifying link. The Simpsons warned us decades ago that if you dig into the secrets of the elite, you might end up on an island run by creeps. Another wild Simpsons prediction for 2026 is the American takeover of Greenland.
Wow!
In the 2002 episode, Blame It on Lisa, there is a quick detail you probably missed. Homer is wearing a very specific t-shirt. The shirt shows Uncle Sam, who represents the U.S. military, taking a giant bite right out of the planet. The exact piece of land he is biting into is Greenland. Underneath the picture, the shirt literally says, "Try and stop us." Fast forward to 2026, and this cartoon joke has turned into a massive, real-world political standoff.
That's insane, bro. Obviously, so far, America has not taken over Greenland, but, they have openly talked about it, and perhaps they're gonna explore that after, like, the current Middle East situation, right? Prayers out for everybody. I always said this, bro. I'm for no war, bro. There are some people in the Wall Street, you know, the elite's gonna make tons of money. I was watching a video, maybe we can actually cover that on the channel too, but you know, the Satan, I cannot say the country's name because every time I mention it, the videos don't do that well. You know, I get the limited reach, so it's real. The Satan Yahoo's country's index, the stock market, ever since like October the 7th, their stock market rose 100%. You know, they doubled the money that quickly ever since October 7th. So yeah, the money is in starting wars. Really, truly though, the money is there, and the elite's gonna make tons of money with the current situation. And already the stock market in general is gonna go down, but it's gonna come back up even stronger. But there are certain stocks that are actually killing it right now because of the rumors of wars, like Lockheed Martin, for example, right? Because it's a war stock, it's a wartime stock, so.
Donald Trump has publicly stated that America needs to own Greenland for national security reasons.
And you defend ownership, you don't defend leases. And we'll have to defend Greenland.
He even warned that if the US can't get it the easy way, they are going to do it the hard way. The problem is, Greenland belongs to Denmark, and they have made it very clear that their territory is absolutely not for sale. But with global tensions rising, political insiders are now warning that America might actually be gearing up to force a takeover of the island sometime before July of this year. The Simpsons showed us Uncle Sam eating Greenland over 20 years ago, and right now the government is trying to make that exact shirt a reality.
The way that can happen, I mean, you would have to factor in, I guess, maybe Russia jumping in, China jumping in, and then that could be like one of the talking point, perhaps an excuse or a talking point to then for America to like take over Greenland, right? Like, not when I say America or any country, Russia and China, guys, you probably know this, but for two people, we're only talking the military, the government, right? Because the regular folks, regardless of where they are, regardless of their faith, race, religion, this, that, the other, generally, right? Like, most people just want peace. People just want to be, they just want to raise their children. They just want to do good for themselves, you know, provide for the family. It's just simple, man. Like, people just want simple stuff, you know. People are simple, man. You feel what I'm saying? People got their goals, ambitions, but yeah, just for some old men, young men gotta die. And when you really think about it, right, yeah, like all the people that are starting wars, right, they are in their 70s years, 80 years. They are 80 years old, 70 years old, right? All of the big presidents, politicians of the major countries, right, they have lived their lives, bro. They have lived their lives. It's just you and I that are gonna be impacted. Even if you're not in the Middle East, the economy, right, is gonna be pretty bad. Then you have to worry about the protests turning into something else, crime rate going up, just because of something that happened on the other side of the planet. You know what I mean, right? Like, it's gonna get crazy. It already is crazy.
Very dark Simpsons prediction for 2026 is extreme winter weather. In the 2000 episode, Skinner's Sense of Snow, a crazy and unexpected blizzard hits the town of Springfield. The snow is so bad that all the students get trapped inside the school. The town's power and roads completely fail. The important thing to note is that Springfield almost never gets big snowstorms, just like the southern parts of the United States. In the episode, Homer and Flanders even get trapped inside a snowed-in car and start hallucinating because it is so cold.
I think we hit something.
I hope it's Flanders.
Fast forward to January 2026, and we are seeing massive, deadly ice storms hit places that never get snow.
Heavy snow and ice have hit North America. A massive winter storm continues to move across the country.
States like Texas and the Carolinas had their power grids totally shut down. Millions of people were left freezing in their homes with no electricity or water. Major highways turned into solid ice. People were stuck in their cars for days, and grocery store shelves were completely emptied out in just a few hours because of the panic. The Simpsons even gave a hint about exactly when this would happen. In an older episode, there is a calendar in the background that shows a snowflake right in the middle of January. This lines up perfectly with the exact week the power grids failed again this year. The show
that's wild. We obviously had that here in Canada too, right? But Canada, I mean, it's kind of usual. It happens all the time. But I mean, this time it was kind of bad. But obviously, like, he's talking about certain countries or cities in the U.S. where it wouldn't happen, but it happened that bad. That's crazy. They predicted all that. Yeah, the world is a stage, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly, though, I need to take a second to shout out you guys, especially the homie Ghost. Fed up with it. Dark Towers, the homie Kevin and Mark for the super thanks, and also Annie for becoming a brand new member on the channel, Slim Pickens for the 6 months, Jima for the 3 months, the Madalena Effect for becoming a brand new member on the channel, the homie Craig, and Greg. Okay, it's a shout out to all of you guys out there. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel the way you do. Alright, let's get back to the content here. Boo boo, check this.
He's made fun of mayors and politicians not knowing what to do during a storm. In 2026, that joke is becoming a very scary reality for a lot of people. Another very concerning Simpsons prediction for 2026 is billionaire corporate towns. In the 1996 episode, You Only Move Twice, Homer gets a great new job. He moves his whole family to a place called Cypress Creek. This is a perfectly clean, brand new town built and owned completely by the Globex Corporation.
Welcome you on behalf of the president of the Globex Corporation.
The boss of the company is a man named Hank Scorpio. He wears casual clothes, gives his workers free houses, and seems like the best boss ever. But he is actually an evil supervillain using the town to hide his crazy weapons. He even has a giant laser and fights the government while Homer is just trying to do his normal office work. Fast forward to 2026, and the richest tech billionaires in the real world are doing exactly this. They are buying thousands of acres of empty land to build their own private cities. Elon Musk is building private towns in Texas just for his workers. Other rich tech guys are working on a
Damn, so we're really, I guess in the future we're gonna get to the point where all the elites gonna have their own like country. I guess they're gonna have their own cities, countries, whatever, right? Like, yeah, bunker underneath and all that. Because yeah, the old men, the rich, and the elites, bro, their lives matter. You and I were just peasants, right? Start wars and then just leave your country. That's what happened with Satan Yahoo, right? Like, just start it and just go to the bunker, rush to the bunker. Again, not saying what happened was good or bad, because people got their opinions. Some people were celebrating, others not so much. I've seen like people mourning, some people celebrating. The side that I guess the side that I'm worried about is the aftermath, right? The destabilization of the globe, essentially, right? Economy, right? Because you and I are gonna suffer even if we have no say in it, because we got no say in it, right? Yeah, even though we don't live there, we still gotta like face the consequences. Yep, the dildo of consequences. Remember, fellas, the dildo of consequences never comes with lube. That's the motto I live by, and yeah.
Massive project called California Forever. They are ignoring local mayors and building their own rules. They are buying up all the local water rights and building their own private police forces so they don't have to listen to regular state laws. The Simpsons predicted that when one big company owns your house, your grocery store, and pays your salary, you lose all your freedom. The Simpsons warned us 30 years ago not to trust a billionaire who wants you to live in his private town. Another amazing Simpsons prediction is cracking the math of the universe. In the 1998 episode, The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, Homer decides he wants to invent things. Homer spends the whole episode feeling jealous of famous inventors and driving his family crazy by building weird things that do not work. In one quick scene, Homer is standing in his basement. He is writing on a chalkboard. The chalkboard is covered in a huge, complicated math problem. For a long time, viewers just thought it was a joke showing Homer trying to be smart. But fast forward to 2012, and scientists in Switzerland found something called the Higgs boson. People call it the God particle. It helps explain how everything in space gets...
Sir! Yo, we made a video recently. I guess that's gonna be perfect. I'll link you that at the end, I guess. Yeah, the CERN situation, one of the insider came out, talked about aliens! The portal's opening! They have found an extraterrestrial interdimensional being out of it. Yeah, so there was that too. One of the insiders said that, which was insane. Some believed her, others not so much. And right now there's also talks about the UFO files, the alien files, right? Yeah, and obviously Greenland is another situation. And obviously Uncle Donnie, Donald Trump, President of America, he openly said that we're gonna disclose the truth. I'm not sure if you guys heard this. I haven't yet covered in a video, but I'll just mention it. They are saying like couple million. I don't know the exact number from the top of my head, but I believe I read 3.6 million UFO files were taken out as soon as the Pentagon, or you know, they heard that they were gonna, or Trump's administration is looking to disclose their truth. I'm not sure if any of you heard this or not, but yeah, they're saying that millions of UFO and alien files went missing. Almost as though they don't want it getting revealed. Yeah, right. Nah, it's kind of wild, man. Let's find out. I guess we're surely living in interesting but yet terrifying times. Soon enough, we're we might know about it, you know, and there's also like a lot of conspiracy theories about 2027, which I don't want to get into right now. We'll get into some other days, but some other
its
time.
weight and mass. This was a massive deal in the science world, and the machine they used to find it cost billions of dollars to build. When real math experts looked back at the episode, they solved the math problem Homer wrote on the board. They found out that Homer's math actually predicted the exact mass of the God particle. This happened because one of the writers for the show actually studied advanced physics. He snuck a real math equation into the cartoon. Now, in 2026, as science gets even more advanced, people still look back at this episode. The Simpsons solved a massive space mystery 14 years before the smartest scientists in the world could figure it out. An even scarier prediction is the deep-sea submarine disaster. In the 2006 episode, Homer's Paternity Coot, Homer goes on an adventure to find...
That's insane. Like, okay, it could have been like a generic deep-sea exploration, but it has to be exactly the Titanic? Oh shit! Say psych! Say psych!
A sunken treasure ship. To get there, he gets into a very small, cramped submarine. He goes down with his fake dad, who has a much bigger and safer submarine,
searching for treasure with my long-lost son,
leaving Homer all by himself in the tiny, dangerous one. He goes deep under...
We had a billionaire, right? I believe he was a Pakistani-British billionaire. He went there with his son, and the son was scared, but the son still accompanied him because I believe it was his father's birthday, and the news was horrible. They lost their lives.
Water, way below where it is safe. While he is looking around, his tiny sub gets stuck inside a cave. His oxygen starts to run out. A red warning light starts flashing in his face, and he passes out because he is trapped so far underwater. Fast forward to recently, and the real world saw the exact same thing happen with the...
But this one imploded, or at least that's what they told us.
Ocean Gate Titan submarine. Rich people paid a lot of money to get into it.
Yeah, this was the guy that I was talking about. So that was his son, and you have, I believe he was the owner, and the rest I don't remember the name of.
A tiny experimental sub to look at the Titanic. Just like in the cartoon, the real-life submarine was driven by a cheap video game controller and was not tested by real safety experts before it went into the water. Things went wrong deep underwater. People online immediately found the clip of Homer getting... Another futuristic Simpsons prediction is AI baby translators. AI is everywhere in 2026, but The Simpsons showed us how it would be used way back in 1992. In the episode Brother, Can You Spare 2 Dimes?, Homer's brother Herb needs to make money. He watches Maggie crying and comes up with a big idea. He builds a machine that listens to baby noises.
Well, here it is again. My baby translator.
The machine then translates the crying into real English words.
Lavish attention on me and entertain me.
Maggie, you talk!
It tells the parents if the baby is hungry, tired, or needs a new diaper. Herb goes from being totally broke and sleeping on Homer's...
Man, I can actually see that happen. Not even shocking anymore. But I guess what's shocking is they predicted all of this, like, when I guess none of us or very few of us saw this coming, you know?
Couch to being a millionaire again just by selling this one single invention to normal parents. Back in 1992, this was just a funny cartoon invention.
Dang, 1992. Holy. And maybe that's, maybe we're gonna use AI to speak with aliens whenever they come by, right? Aliens before GTA 6! Yeah, maybe, I guess that's gonna be the best case scenario, right? Like, we're probably gonna, because, yeah, what language do they speak? They probably don't speak English, but they speak SKizzle, they do telepathic communication. Maybe you're right, because that's what the conspiracies tell us. Maybe it's telepathic communication. Maybe they're really advanced to the point where they can actually start speaking English after they have heard us. Maybe they can download the languages in their brains, or maybe we're gonna use AI to speak with them. If or when they come, you know, if.
Forward to 2026, and this is a real thing. AI tech company invention. Fast forward to 2026, and this is a real thing. AI tech companies have made baby cry translator apps that you
They already made it!
Can download right now. These companies used AI to listen to millions of hours of real babies crying. Now, parents are paying expensive monthly subscription fees just to have this AI app on their...
I'm not even a parent, but I gotta say, bro, if a baby's crying, either he wanna be entertained with the toys, like do something crazy or change the diaper, or he hungry. Simple.
phones to help them sleep at night. The AI can scan the sound of a cry and tell you exactly what your baby wants. The exact machine that Herb built in the cartoon is now sitting on cell phones all over the world. The Simpsons knew that AI wouldn't just be for computers, it would be used to figure out what babies are trying to say. Another wild Simpsons prediction is the cooking oil black market. In the 1998 episode, Lard of the Dance, Homer figures out that he can sell used cooking grease for cash. He gets Bart to help him. They drive around town in the dark. They sneak behind fast food places and steal the old grease out of the fryers.
Hey, you're taking our grease!
It's our grease now.
Ah!
We run the grease racket in this town.
Homer even tries to sell a few drops of grease to a guy who buys and sells animal fat, but he gets rejected because it is worth so little. They even try to steal a huge amount of grease from the school cafeteria, which leads to a fight in the air vents.
Ow! Stop pummeling me!
It was a really dumb, funny crime for Homer to do. Fast forward to 2026, and stealing grease is a massive real-world problem. Because everyone wants to use green energy and sustainable fuel, used cooking oil is now worth a lot of money. Because it is worth so much, real criminal gangs are stealing it. Restaurants are now having to put heavy metal padlocks and security cameras on their grease dumpsters just to stop people from draining them. Across the US and Europe, gangs are driving huge tanker trucks up to restaurants late at night. They are stealing millions of dollars of grease right out of the fryers.
Millions.
The FBI and police forces are actively hunting down these grease theft rings right now. The writers made up the dumbest crime they could think of, and in 2026, it is a massive black
that's the first time I'm hearing. Damn, that's insane.
Market business. Another scary Simpsons prediction is a new super virus ruining shipping. In the 1993 episode Marge in Chains, a man working in a factory in Japan gets sick. He coughs into a box while he is packing a new juice machine. The box gets taped shut. It gets put on a big cargo ship. A few weeks later, the box arrives in Springfield. When the people open their boxes, a green cloud of germs comes out. It is called the Osaka flu, and the whole town gets...
And recently we also had like this Nipah virus, so we're hearing about it, but we're thankfully hearing that it's not that contagious, so...
Episode. An even crazier Simpsons prediction for 2026 is blocking out the sun. In the famous 1995 episode, Who Shot Mr. Burns? The rich boss Mr. Burns does something crazy. He builds a massive giant metal disc.
Hey, Homer, us hotheads here is gonna go tear down Burns' sun-blocking machine.
He uses it to totally block the sun from shining on the town. He does this just so the town is always dark. That way, everyone is forced to buy electricity from his power plant to keep their lights on. This crazy plan makes the town so angry that someone actually shoots Mr. Burns to stop him from taking away the sunlight. It was the most evil, cartoonish thing a bad guy could do. Fast forward to 2026, and scientists are really talking about doing this. It is called solar geoengineering. Real scientists who are paid by real billionaires are looking at ways to spray dust into the sky to dim the sun. They want to do it to cool down the earth and stop global warming. If they do this, it could literally change the color of the sky and affect how crops grow all over the world. But the billionaires want to do it anyway.
This is something that we have been hearing for a minute, right? And this was the video that I was actually talking about. It's actually pretty wild. Interdimensional aliens, open portals or portals. And you know what? Even Ross Coulthard is talking about it, which we'll likely cover in a different video. But check out this video on the screen and I'll see you right there.